welcome back to the channel. It has been a year since we talked to you about or had a Marvel Universe chats with Matt. I can't believe you guys let us get away with this. Oh my gosh.
The people demand more me.
So much to catch up on. Also, we're gonna get into it, and hopefully we'll be back more with you guys since we got more Marvel Universe to talk about, like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. But let's do the catch up. Since we last talked to you, Spider-Man Far From Home came out.
Which was awesome. I loved it.
It was good.
Yeah. Very emotional. Really emotional.
Yeah,
just the whole dealing with
Tony's
his absence. It was really nicely done, and the fact that he still left him with a little piece of tech with the glasses and Edith, which is just the coolest thing. Even dead, I'm the hero. That's awesome.
That was very cool. I loved. Yeah, I even like Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
Mysterio is normally basically considered a mort of a villain. Like, he's just not that good.
Although we kind of, like,
but
did spoil the movie with talking about that in one episode. I'm sorry if you guys saw that.
Anyone who didn't see that coming, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I think he nailed the role. I thought it was really well done, and they actually approached the character in an interesting way.
It was really good.
Mm-hmm. I am looking forward to part 3 now that they've really started the hype push for that with the whole naming tease and all of that. And man, I think the actors are great, the characters are wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. Especially now that we have J. Jonah Jameson back.
Yes. Also, speaking of which, Spider-Man and the Multiverse came out during this time.
Spider-Man and the Multiverse came out? What?
The Spider-Verse thing. If you see that I'm looking down, I took notes about what we should talk about.
I think that was out the last time.
I didn't see it, so I finally got to see it, and it was enjoyable. I'm glad that Spider-Man has come to play more in the MCU, and
that might have been I mean, don't get me wrong, I love all the Spider-Man movies. I especially like the Tom Holland ones. My belief for those have always been Tobey Maguire was an excellent Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was an excellent Spider-Man. Tom Holland is excellent at both. And then you've got the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales and all of the other, all the other multiverse, Spider-Verse characters. Really well done. Just one of the best examples of good Spider-Man storytelling, and especially done in a movie. So that was absolutely wonderful. Personal fanboy moment came in the post-credit scene when you got to see Spider-Man 2099. That's my fave.
It is also good. And isn't there a talk about
another Spider-Verse? Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be out in the next 2-3 years, I want to say.
Like a live-action one where we get to see all the Spider-Mans. Maybe.
They teased that, but I don't know. I literally just did the nerd push my glasses up my nose thing, so hold on, let me get into this. No, they teased that, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Can I make a prediction here on your show?
Sure, you always do.
Okay, this is not a spoiler prediction. Well, it is if it comes true. This is honestly just a wild guess. If they genuinely do the Spider-Verse thing where they bring back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire to reprise some version of Peter Parker in the multiverse, which I really hope they do, I think the big surprise Easter egg that they're going to give to fans, whether it's in the post-credit scene or actually in the movie itself, I think they're going to introduce us to Miles Morales. I really think they will. Because they've set it up. They had Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, play the Prowler in the first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, and he talks about his nephew, and the nephew is a reference to Miles Morales from Ultimate Spider-Man. So it's possible. We might get that.
So also, while we've been away and everything like that, I thought we would play catch up. We've talked about watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
last season really, really like put on the big boy pants and tried to carry that, and it mostly did. I thought it was good. It was enjoyable.
It was a fun jump through time, as we talked about the many problems with time travel and all that fun stuff.
I still want them to bring back the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. into the MCU proper. I mean, you could easily just say, oh, they landed in another timeline or whatever, and that's, I guess,
actually,
whatever. But
we didn't catch up for like two seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes,
the last time
we had to binge that.
We talked to you guys, it was when we were meeting Bad Coulson.
Oh, is that when it was?
Yes.
Okay. Then we got rid of Bad Coulson, and we got LMD Coulson, and
that was
yeah.
He just totally spoiled it in case you guys weren't caught up.
It's a TV show that's now like 2-3 years old. Get with it.
But if you aren't, yes, we get LMD Coulson, which is beautiful and lovely. I love the ending of that. That was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which, since we binged Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and finished that, there's a spoiler thing in there that made us go back and watch Agent Carter,
which was such a beautiful show. That it is criminal that show ended as soon as it did. It was so good.
It was really good. And what did you say? Well, we were
Bernard Stark is the devil in pink.
No, you were saying that it's a little bit of a sexist show.
Kind of, yeah, because all the guys are like exactly what you would imagine dudes from the 40s and 50s would be like, just bros that treat Agent Carter like crap. Yeah. How everything is like, oh, what can I do? She steps up, I'm an agent, what can I do? And they're always like, get the coffee.
Yes. He had some other words for it too, but yes, that's basically it.
I'm so genius and smart at these analyzing bits that I forget them.
Probably. Follow him on Twitter to see his witty banter.
Come on, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, it's all I Make Reality.
Yes. We also, speaking of other series in the Marvel Universe, we watched Agent Cloak and Dagger.
Yes, we did.
That was so good.
That was another one that ended criminally early.
That was good for a free-form ABC Family show.
Yeah. So I mean, they really amped up the teenage drama and sexiness of everybody, kind of a thing, because that's what you have to do for those shows. But it legitimately tackled issues of like, the white girl from the broken family who's homeless still has an easier time of things than the genius football player black kid from a good household, like the stereotypically good household. And like, just, it really started to push all those issues. And at the end, to really have them be like, okay, they're gonna go from Nolans to wherever they were headed off to. I forget if it was New York or whatever. But
I don't think they said.
I thought it was New York or like Florida or something.
Maybe. That was a show that criminally ended too soon.
Yeah. So we have something that we need to watch. Homework. Are we going to talk about that later?
What?
Runaways.
Oh,
we
yes.
still haven't seen that.
Yes, because we were going to talk about that because we finished watching WandaVision and we watched it like everybody else. Didn't binge it, just watched it as everybody, as each episode came out.
We watched an episode a week.
Yeah, and with the loading screen.
Okay, that's the only problem I have. I don't mind waiting a week for episodes because it builds a lot of hype, but damn it. Every time we would get on there, even if it was like 2 or 3 days afterwards, Disney Plus locks us in a loading screen.
It's not so 2 or 3. We would watch it every Friday. Like,
sometimes Saturday, and there was one time Sunday. But it was always a loading screen.
No, it wasn't Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, maybe it was the first time, but after that, it was like every Friday for us, and it drops like
Thursday night at 10 p.m. locally.
Hawaii time. So, yeah, loading screen. Very annoying. Disney, if you're watching this, get your shiz together. Not appropriate for any of things. I mean, you've been doing this to us since Mandalorian. Not cool. But Yes. So in watching the analysis and several talks about WandaVision, they talk about the Darkhold, a book that was mentioned in Doctor Strange. I think it was one of the missing books. Being in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as, if you haven't followed us, it was the book that they claim was season 4 or so, when they go through that Matrix-like thing in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then it is also referenced in The Runaways, which we haven't seen yet, so I don't know if that's purposely all tied together or that's just a weird coincidence.
Well, the Darkhold is kind of it's the Necronomicon of the Marvel Universe. Like, it is the random book name that you give to whatever is like, it is an ancient tome of evil magic power. So there's a little bit of that, but at the same time, it could also be a little bit of an Easter egg leading to things to come, just because obviously the MCU loves to do that, in that the Darkhold plays a big role in the Midnight Suns, which is the corner of the Marvel Universe that Blade hangs out in, and Blade is getting, redone and revamped, pun intended. There is a new version on the way, so it could tie into that. Can we talk about, did you like WandaVision?
Yes, I really enjoyed WandaVision. I'm glad that there was a few end credit trailers and mid credits.
Mm-hmm.
I even told you to wait for the end credit trailer at the end of, well, there was 2 and in the season finale, the one where we meet the Skrull again. The Skrull guys, and we meet Monica Rambeau, and she might get her own storyline, and we'll see what happens in Captain Marvel 2. And then the end credit trailer where, spoilers if you haven't seen WandaVision, Scarlet Witch is in the house that
in a little log cabin that looks a lot like the little log cabin where Bruce Banner was held up at the end of the Ed Norton Hulk, but probably not the same.
No, but I told you it was a throw because Sam Raimi is directing Doctor Strange too.
That's a bit of a pull, but it might be.
That's what people were saying.
It didn't look like the same cabin from Evil Dead, but you never know.
No, but
hey, so long as Bruce Campbell and the classic are in that movie.
Yes. And then you see what Scarlet Witch is doing. Very Doctor Strange vibes.
And that leads me into my only complaint of the show.
Well, you had 2 complaints. His other complaint was everybody's complaint with the Evan Peters thing.
Actually, yes, obviously I would have liked it, I would have loved it, and my fanboy heart would have sung if that was actually how they started to bring in mutants and the X-Men to the Marvel universe.
Because
I would be more than happy with that.
Disney now, with the purchase of Fox, now owns X-Men.
Yes. So, cool. I would have loved that, but there was, they never made a promise, so I can't bust on them for not fulfilling a promise that I was hoping for.
We just kind of assumed it when...
Mm-hmm. You know what they say about assuming. But, the one legitimate complaint I believe I have is you had an entire town, like a rather large footprint of area, completely taken over by magic and reality being altered within it, and no one from Doctor Strange's circle of cast showed up like that. I mean, you didn't even I understand if Benedict Cumberbatch can't come in and do like a few minute spot on a TV show, I get that, that's fine, whatever, but you maybe could have had like Wong show up. Like if you had Wong have a conversation with Darcy, that would have been sassy. That would have been very funny. The other one that could have happened was like if you had Agatha, right? Spoiler alert, I don't care, I'm ruining this for you, here we go. Agatha gets brainwashed at the end. Wanda basically turns her into exactly the thing that she had been faking being, which is like the smiley, nosy, funny neighbor. Like, if she now had to live out that life, and you saw her, and because the town is kind of crappy and dilapidated. So put her in a crappy, dilapidated house where she's doing the dishes, but has that same, like, big vacuous smile on her face. And then she turns around and she's like, well, hey there, neighbor, how can I help you? And then you look around to the threshold, and in the camera you see Mordu. And he's like, too many magicians. Like, that would have been like, holy, that would have been great. The fact that nothing from Doctor Strange crossed over just struck me as a missed opportunity. Yeah.
It was really good. Recommend you watch it if you haven't seen it.
So good. The fact that they, by the decades, they made the show exactly like what they were parodying. In the sense that, like,
I still am a little miffed that they used Modern Family for the 90s.
I thought that was that was Malcolm in the Middle was the 90s. The 2000s was Modern Family.
Oh, yeah, Malcolm in the Middle. I'm like, at least use a 90s show. Every 90s kid would have gotten it. Full House. You have so much to choose from.
Not Full House. No, not Full House.
Or whatever.
Friends. If you really want to do it, you would have done Friends. But hey, I was actually good with.
Anyways,
I was actually really good with Malcolm.
Anything else, you have a multitude of shows to choose from.
I thought the Malcolm in the Middle one was good. But yeah, there are more quintessentially 90s shows that I think you could have grabbed.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to say about that.
But really, the fact that they parodied an old-timey sitcom, like in the first episode, I thought for sure going into it that we were going to get like, okay, they're setting it up and you're getting a sitcom, but then after that you would get but here's what's really going on. They didn't. And they played it totally straight, where it's like, nope, this is a 30-minute sitcom, or a little less for commercials. And that's it. And Dick Van Dyke consulted on the episode. Like, that was genius. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Also, can we talk about how much we want Darcy and what's-his-face to get his own show?
Agent Woo.
Also, we never found out exactly why Agent Woo was there. He's all like, I'm consulting on a thing. And we never found out.
I think it might have just been the cops at the beginning, but yeah, it's a little bit of a dangling thread.
Yes. But Disney, can you please give us Darcy and Agent Woo as a show or a mini-series?
Something like that.
Something. It's really good. So, that leads us to Captain Marvel 2. Any predictions about
Captain Marvel 2? I think we're going to get a lot more from Monica Rambeau, and she'll step up, and I don't know which of the many names she's going to take, because Monica Rambeau's had a ton of superhero names. She was Captain Marvel herself for a while, so that might become a thing. She's also been known as Photon and several others, but so I think we're going to get more with that. I think you're going to see Monica Rambeau move to the top of S.W.O.R.D. because S.W.O.R.D. has that dude Hayward, the annoying villain from the bureaucratic villain from WandaVision, but that's not the top of S.W.O.R.D. In theory, it might be Nick Fury and the Skrulls that are at the top of S.W.O.R.D., and I hope that's the case. And honestly, that's a way to bring back S.H.I.E.L.D. because that's what Quake and Sousa were doing, traveling around space, so make it happen.
Did we talk about Doctor Strange 2 yet?
Nope.
We're looking forward to that. The multiverse, they've hinted at
Multiverse of Madness.
Scarlet Witch being in it.
And Spider-Man. And maybe multiple Spider-Mans.
So, I'm looking forward to that. We are currently, like everybody else, watching Falcon and Winter Soldier. Super excited about that.
Which is really good because it's so strikingly different from WandaVision that I think certain people are going to be like, they're not taking risks with this. Maybe not stylistically, but I think what they're tackling is pretty good. Like the entire idea of Bucky, the Winter Soldier, basically having 100 years of PTSD. That's a thing. The fact that Sam literally helped save the universe, and still cannot get along. Like, there are issues at work here that are being commented on that I don't think are, maybe they're not right up front like WandaVision, but I still think the subjects are really good.
All of which we'll get into in a later episode, because I am hoping we will come back and talk to you all about Falcon and Winter Soldier after this episode is finished. But yes, if you like this episode,
you like this episode
of Marvel Universe Talks with Matt, let us know, give us a like, comment, subscribe. We would love to hear from you. And
just down in the comment section being like, Matt, you're rad. That's how
or things like that. Fingers crossed, we'll be back soon-ish to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. And yes, we will see you guys in another episode. Bye!